Hollywood is also mourning the death of singer Eddie Kendricks. He died yesterday of lung cancer. Kendricks was 52.
Eddie Kendricks, the legendary falsetto behind The Temptations' biggest hits, was a voice that defined a generation. With songs like My Girl and Just My Imagination, he captured hearts worldwide. But behind his iconic voice and fame lies a dark, heart-wrenching story the world has rarely heard. Eddie's final years were marked by a painful battle against a disease that would ultimately claim his life, a story kept from the spotlight until now. Are you ready to listen to this heartbreaking story no one will tell you about him? Let's get started. The mysteries in Eddie Kendricks' life began to emerge in the late 1940s when he discovered his passion for music while singing in the church choir, where he met his best friend, Paul Williams. Their friendship blossomed as they shared a deep love for music, leading them to collaborate on various performances. This connection was crucial in the development of Kendricks' musical style, which would later influence his career. By 1955, Kendricks, Williams, and their friends, Kel Osborne and Jerome Averett, formed a doo-wop group called the Cavaliers. The group quickly gained popularity in Birmingham, performing at local venues and community events. Their harmonious sound and energetic performances captivated audiences, fostering a sense of camaraderie and creativity among the members. Despite their success in Birmingham, they sought greater opportunities to showcase their talent, prompting a pivotal decision in 1957 to relocate to Cleveland, Ohio. The move was a strategic one, as they believed it would provide them with the exposure and opportunities necessary to advance their musical careers. In Cleveland, the group settled near the intersection of East 123rd Street and Kinsman Road, a lively area known for its rich musical heritage. It was here that they crossed paths with manager Milton Jenkins, who recognized their potential and guided them towards greater success. Under Jenkins's management, the Cavaliers flourished, and their popularity began to rise, particularly in the Detroit area. This trajectory led to the group's renaming as the Primes, a moniker that would soon become synonymous with their burgeoning fame. The Primes enjoyed significant success, and their popularity was further enhanced when they created a female spin-off group called the Primettes, which would eventually evolve into the legendary Supremes. This strategic move showcased the Primes' versatility and ability to innovate within the music industry, solidifying their reputation as a formidable force in the Motown scene. However, in 1961, the group faced a turning point when Osborne decided to relocate to California, leading to the disbandment of the Primes. Rather than allowing this setback to derail their ambitions, Kendricks and Paul Williams forged ahead, seeking to form a new group. They joined forces with Elbridge Al Bryant, along with Otis Williams and Melvin Blue Franklin, who were previously members of Otis Williams and The Distance. This new collaboration brought together a blend of unique talents and vocal styles, setting the stage for a remarkable transformation. On the same day, the group changed their name to The Temptations. They signed with Motown Records, marking the beginning of an extraordinary chapter in their musical journey. The Temptations quickly became one of the most iconic and influential acts in the history of music, known for their smooth harmonies, intricate choreography, and dynamic stage presence. Kendricks' falsetto voice became a defining feature of the group, contributing to their unique sound and helping to shape the Motown sound that dominated the charts throughout the 1960s and beyond. The Temptations began their rise to fame as background singers for Mary Wells. This early experience not only honed their vocal skills, but also provided invaluable exposure to the inner workings of the music industry. Their time with Wells allowed them to perform at various venues, gradually building their reputation as a promising vocal ensemble. Despite facing an initial dry period where they struggled to find their footing, the Temptations soon transformed into the most successful male vocal group of the era, captivating audiences with their harmonious melodies and electrifying performances. Kendricks played a pivotal role in shaping the group's distinctive sound, While he was technically the first tenor in their vocal harmony, he often showcased his extraordinary vocal range by singing in the falsetto register. This ability added a unique quality to the Temptations' music, particularly in songs that required a soaring, emotional delivery. His falsetto became one of the defining characteristics of the group's sound, making their performances memorable and setting them apart from other acts of the time. In addition to his vocal contributions, Kendricks was instrumental in creating the group's vocal arrangements. His keen sense of melody and harmony helped to elevate the Temptations' songs, allowing them to achieve a richness and complexity that resonated with fans. His contributions extended beyond music. Kendricks also took on the role of wardrobe manager, demonstrating his flair for style. One of his most notable achievements in this area was the design of the now famous purple suits the group wore during one particular performance. The coordinated outfits became a symbol of their brand and were a testament to Kendricks' commitment to presenting the Temptations as a polished professional act. Beyond his professional life, Kendricks had a vibrant social circle and was known for his charm. He was romantically interested in Diana Ross, the lead singer of the Supremes, and his pursuit of her became a topic of interest among fans and the music community. According to Otis Williams, Kendricks' admiration for Ross was well known, and he often spoke fondly of her. Additionally, he was close friends with Martha Reeves of the Vandellas, further solidifying his connections within the Motown family. Kendricks also had a personal nickname among his group mates, Cornbread. This affectionate moniker stemmed from his love of cornbread, reflecting the camaraderie and playful spirit within the group. His lighthearted personality contributed to the group's dynamic, making rehearsals and performances enjoyable for everyone involved. In the realm of personal relationships, Kendricks had a brief romantic involvement with Mary Wilson of the Supremes, as documented in her second book, Supreme Faith. Wilson described their relationship as a brief but significant chapter in her life, noting that they remained close friends even after their romantic ties ended. This friendship illustrates the deep bonds formed among the artists of that era, transcending their professional collaborations and creating lasting connections in a highly competitive industry. Kendricks remained with the Temptations throughout the late 1960s, a period during which the group solidified its status as a cultural phenomenon and a leading force in the Motown sound. However, as the decade progressed, a series of challenges began to create friction for him within the group. One of the most significant changes was the musical direction that the Temptations were taking under the influence of producer Norman Whitfield. While Kendricks had initially flourished in the romantic ballads crafted by Smokey Robinson, he found himself increasingly uncomfortable with the psychedelic sound that Whitfield was now steering the group toward. Songs like Cloud 9 and Psychedelic Shack marked a departure from the smooth, soulful melodies that had originally defined the Temptations' appeal. Kendricks cherished the rich harmonies and emotional depth of their earlier work, and the new style, characterized by experimental instrumentation and production techniques, felt alien to him. The shift not only clashed with his artistic sensibilities, but also left him yearning for the lush ballads that had previously been his forte. Compounding this discomfort was the declining health of his close friend and fellow Temptation, Paul Williams. Williams' struggles with illness meant he was often unable to perform, creating a palpable void in the group dynamics. Kendricks, who had always valued camaraderie and teamwork, found it difficult to navigate the changing landscape of the Temptations without the familiar presence of his longtime friend. The emotional toll of these circumstances weighed heavily on him as he grappled with the uncertainty of both his friend's health and the group's future. Furthermore, tensions began to escalate between Kendricks and other bandmates, particularly Otis Williams and Melvin Franklin. While the Temptations had initially thrived on a spirit of collaboration and mutual respect, differing opinions on creative direction and personal priorities started to create friction. Kendricks often felt marginalized in discussions about the group's future, leading to a growing sense of disconnection from the collective. His longing for the earlier camaraderie and musical direction began to foster a feeling of isolation within the group. As Kendricks wrestled with these internal conflicts, he began to reconnect with ex-Temptation David Ruffin, whose own departure from the group had left its mark on both the ensemble and Kendricks personally. Ruffin's charisma and talent had made a significant impact during his time with the Temptations, and his friendship with Kendricks offered a sense of nostalgia and understanding that was increasingly lacking in the current dynamics of the group. Ruffin encouraged Kendricks to consider his own artistic path and contemplate a future beyond the Temptations, which resonated with Kendricks' growing desire for change. In a candid 1991 interview with the Chicago television series Urban Street, Kendricks revealed that his considerations for leaving the Temptations began as early as 1965. This revelation was particularly striking because 1965 marked a pivotal year for the group, as they were finally beginning to achieve the commercial success that had eluded them in their earlier years. The Temptations had just released several hits, and their popularity was surging. But beneath the surface, Kendricks felt that something was amiss. He articulated his concerns about the group's management, expressing his discomfort with the people they were working with at the time. Kendricks felt that these individuals didn't have their best interests at heart. This feeling of mistrust created a significant emotional burden for him. Despite the band's rising success, he sensed that the internal dynamics and decision-making processes were not in alignment with the values and goals of the group members. Kendricks feared that the group was being steered by individuals who prioritized their own interests over the collective aspirations of the Temptations. This led to a growing sense of discontent that lingered beneath the excitement of their newfound fame. Initially, Kendricks decided to remain with the Temptations, a choice that was heavily influenced by his apprehensions about leaving the group. He worried that if he departed, he might not receive the necessary support to pursue his musical career independently. The thought of stepping away from the safety and security of a successful group was daunting, especially when he was uncertain about the path that lay ahead. This internal conflict weighed heavily on him as he balanced his desire for artistic integrity with the fear of losing the momentum they had built as a collective. Another significant factor contributing to Kendricks' discomfort was his complex relationship with Berry Gordy, the founder of Motown Records. Kendricks described his interactions with Gordy as less than cordial, noting, "Berry Gordy is a man I don't know. I only met him about 3 times." This lack of a personal connection left Kendricks feeling alienated within the Motown family. He sensed that Gordy didn't particularly care for him, which only added to the tensions he felt within the organization. The perception that the head of the label did not support or value him as an artist further fueled his doubts about his place in the group and the industry as a whole. After years of navigating the complexities of life in the Temptations, Kendricks faced a pivotal moment in November 1970 during a run at the renowned Copacabana nightclub. The vibrant atmosphere of the venue, known for hosting some of the biggest acts in entertainment, was not enough to quell the growing tensions within the group. An altercation with fellow band members, Otis Williams and Melvin Franklin, escalated to a breaking point, prompting Kendricks to walk off after the first night of their performance and not return. This decision was not made lightly. It was the culmination of a long-standing struggle for artistic integrity and a sense of belonging within the group. The fallout from this incident led to a mutual agreement that Kendricks would leave the Temptations, marking the end of an era for both him and the group that had defined his career. Following his departure, Kendricks channeled his energy into pursuing a solo career. He was determined to carve out a musical identity that resonated with his personal vision. During this transition, he recorded one last hit single with the Temptations, "Just My Imagination, Running Away with Me." Released in 1971, this song would go on to become one of the group's signature hits, reaching #1 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 in April of that year. The irony of the situation was not lost on Kendricks. While he was stepping away from the group, their final collaboration became a defining moment in his legacy. The hauntingly beautiful melody and poignant lyrics perfectly showcased his falsetto voice, emphasizing the emotional depth that he had always brought to the Temptations' music. As the success of Just My Imagination unfolded, Kendricks was simultaneously preparing to embark on his solo career. He signed a deal with Motown's Tamla division and began working on his first solo album, titled All by Myself. This album represented a fresh start for Kendricks, a chance to explore his artistic boundaries and express his individuality outside the confines of the Temptations. The prospect of releasing solo work filled him with excitement and anticipation, allowing him to explore personal themes and musical styles that had previously been overshadowed in the group dynamic. However, Kendricks soon found that many of the challenges he faced during his time with the Temptations resurfaced in his solo career. The complexities of his relationship with Motown lingered as he struggled with the label's control over his artistic direction and the creative process. Despite the promise of independence, he felt that Motown's influence was still pervasive, creating obstacles that made it difficult for him to fully realize his vision for his solo music. The conflicts he had previously experienced within the group seemed to echo in this new environment, raising questions about the level of support he would receive from the label as he endeavored to establish his solo identity. Kendricks' transition to a solo career proved to be a challenging journey, marked by slow beginnings and unexpected obstacles. Following his departure from the Temptations, he found himself in a new and unfamiliar landscape, trying to establish his identity as a solo artist. Initially, his efforts to release singles were met with limited success as he struggled to break into the top 40. This period of stagnation was particularly frustrating for Kendricks, especially as he watched the Temptations continue their meteoric rise under the guidance of producer Norman Whitfield. The Temptations, buoyed by their collaboration with Whitfield, were enjoying a series of hits that dominated the charts. One particular track, Superstar, Remember How You Got Where You Are, was notably written as a pointed jab at Kendricks and David Ruffin, both of whom had left the group under less than amicable circumstances. The song's lyrics served as a reminder of the camaraderie they once shared and underscored the tensions that had arisen from their departures. The existence of such a track only deepened Kendricks' sense of alienation from the group and the Motown family, amplifying the emotional burden of his decision to pursue a solo career. Despite the challenges, Kendricks was determined to carve out his own musical niche. His first significant solo project came in 1972 with the release of the album People, Hold On. This album, recorded with his touring group known as the Young Senators, featured talented musicians like Jimmy Dugan's, Frank Hooker, Leroy Fleming, Warnell Jones, David Leecraft, James Drummer Johnson, and John Engram. Together, they created a sound that showcased Kendricks' distinctive falsetto while also blending elements of soul and emerging disco influences. While People, Hold On may not have enjoyed widespread commercial success or significant radio airplay, it found a receptive audience in the vibrant, burgeoning disco scene of downtown New York. The album became a cornerstone of DJ playlists, resonating with the nightlife culture that was beginning to blossom during this period. By 1978, Kendricks found himself increasingly frustrated with the constraints imposed on his creative and financial freedom while under contract with Motown. After years of navigating the intricacies of the music industry and feeling stifled by a lack of control over his artistic direction, he made the difficult decision to leave the label that had once been a launchpad for his career. This marked a significant turning point in Kendricks' life, as he sought new opportunities to reclaim his artistic voice. Following his departure from Motown, Kendricks signed with Arista Records, a move that represented hope for rejuvenation in his career. However, the transition was not without its challenges. By this time, his popularity had waned considerably, and he faced the harsh reality that he was no longer the household name he once had been. The shift in the music landscape, combined with the personal toll of his choices, began to manifest in his vocal performance. Kendricks was gradually losing his upper range, a change attributed in part to his long-standing chain smoking. This development not only impacted his ability to perform, but also affected his confidence as an artist. Despite these challenges, Kendricks remained resilient. His connection to the Temptations never truly faded, and in 1982, he reunited with former bandmate David Ruffin for a highly anticipated reunion tour. The Temptations, now a 7-piece act, saw this tour as an opportunity to reignite the magic that had made them one of the most beloved vocal groups of the era. The reunion was well received by fans, who were eager to witness the chemistry and artistry of the original members back on stage together. During this period, the group also recorded a reunion album that included a standout track written and produced by Rick James titled "Standing on the Top." This song became a hit, and while Kendricks sang a few lead lines, he did not take the lead on any other tracks from the album. This raised concerns among some fans and critics about the state of his vocal abilities, particularly in light of the reports from his former bandmate, Dennis Edwards. In an interview with Tom Meros, Edwards revealed that Kendricks struggled to hit the higher notes during recording sessions for the album. This difficulty prompted Kendricks to seek medical advice regarding his vocal health. The results of this examination revealed a pin drop of cancer on one of Kendricks's lungs. The diagnosis was a devastating blow, not only for Kendricks but also for his friends and fans who had witnessed his journey through the highs and lows of the music industry. Despite this alarming revelation, Kendricks was hesitant to pursue chemotherapy, primarily due to a deep-seated fear of losing his hair, a significant concern for an artist whose appearance had long been part of his appeal. In the 1980s, a significant chapter unfolded in the lives of David Ruffin and Eddie Kendricks, two legendary figures in the world of soul music. Kendricks, having dropped the S from his stage name to become simply Kendrick, found himself reflecting on his career and the changes in the music industry. His journey took an unexpected turn one night when Ruffin, who had been keenly following Kendricks's performances, decided to attend one of his shows at a nightclub. As the performance unfolded, Kendricks spotted Ruffin in the crowd. Recognizing his former bandmate and friend, he invited him up on stage. This spontaneous moment rekindled their chemistry, reminding them both of the magical collaboration they once shared as members of the Temptations. Their camaraderie was palpable, and it wasn't long before they began discussing the possibility of touring together as a duo. This reunion symbolized not just a revival of their friendship, but also an opportunity to explore their musical synergy outside the context of the Temptations. The two artists, both celebrated for their distinctive voices and stage presence, decided to record an album as a duo for RCA in 1988. This project allowed them to blend their styles and experiences, creating a fresh sound that resonated with both their legacy and the evolving music scene. Their collaboration would go on to capture the attention of fans and critics alike, solidifying their place as influential figures in the world of soul and R&B. Before their duo project, Kendricks and Ruffin participated in various notable events that showcased their talents and enduring appeal. In 1985, they joined forces with Hall & Oates for the live album Live at the Apollo, recorded during a benefit concert at New York City's iconic Apollo Theater. Their performances during this event highlighted the profound influence that Kendricks and Ruffin had on the duo, as Hall & Oates acknowledged the impact of the Temptations on their music. This connection further established a sense of continuity within the genre, linking the classic sounds of the past with the contemporary artists of the 1980s. Their collaboration extended beyond the Apollo Theater. The trio of Hall & Oates, Kendricks, and Ruffin took the stage at the historic Live Aid concert in Philadelphia, a global event that aimed to raise funds for famine relief in Ethiopia. Performing at such a high-profile event underscored the relevance of their music and the respect they commanded within the industry. Additionally, they shared the stage at the MTV Video Music Awards in New York, reinforcing their status as iconic performers. Kendricks and Ruffin's partnership culminated in a successful single, a live medley of The Way You Do the Things You Do and My Girl. Released in 1985, this track became a commercial hit, reaching number 20 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 12 on the Adult Contemporary chart, and number 40 on the R&B chart. The medley's nostalgic yet fresh rendition resonated with fans, reminding them of the timeless quality of the songs they had made famous during their time with the Temptations. Their efforts were recognized with a Grammy nomination, further solidifying their contributions to the music industry. The nomination served as a testament to their enduring talent and the impact of their collaboration, proving that even after years apart, their chemistry and musical prowess remained intact. In 1989, Eddie Kendricks, David Ruffin, and their fellow Temptations bandmates achieved a monumental milestone when they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This prestigious honor recognized their profound impact on music and their contributions to the genre, celebrating the legacy of one of the most iconic vocal groups in history. The induction ceremony served as a bittersweet reunion for the members, allowing them to reflect on their journey and the indelible mark they left on the music industry. During this event, Kendricks and Ruffin reconnected with another former Temptation, Dennis Edwards. The three artists found inspiration in their shared history and talent, leading them to make ambitious plans to tour and record together under the name Ruffin, Kendrick, Edwards, former leads of the Temptations. This collaboration represented a revival of their collective artistry as they sought to relive the magic that once defined their time in the Temptations and create new music that would resonate with both old fans and new audiences. However, their promising project was tragically cut short in 1991 when Kendricks faced a daunting health crisis. He was diagnosed with lung cancer, a revelation that sent shockwaves through the music community and among his loved ones. At the same time, the music world mourned the loss of David Ruffin, who died of a drug overdose that same year. The simultaneous occurrences of these events deeply affected Kendricks and left a void in the lives of those who admired both artists. Despite the personal and professional turmoil, Kendricks exhibited remarkable resilience. He and Edwards continued to tour together for the remainder of 1991, honoring their friendship and shared legacy. The duo's performances during this period were imbued with a sense of urgency and tribute to their fallen bandmate as they channeled their grief into their music. Their concerts became a space for healing and remembrance, allowing them to celebrate the lives and contributions of both Ruffin and the Temptations. In late 1991, Kendricks underwent surgery to address his lung cancer. This pivotal moment marked a turning point in his life, as he faced the physical and emotional challenges of his diagnosis. The surgery was a brave step towards recovery, reflecting Kendricks' determination to continue pursuing his passion for music despite the obstacles in his path. Following his recovery, he resumed touring through the summer of 1992, showcasing not only his enduring talent, but also his unwavering spirit. Each performance became a testament to his resilience, drawing on the strength gained from his experiences and the support of his fans. However, Eddie Kendricks succumbed to lung cancer on October 5, 1992, at the Baptist Medical Center Princeton in Birmingham, Alabama. He was just 52 years old. His untimely passing marked a profound loss, not only for his family and friends, but for the countless fans who had been touched by his music and charisma over the decades. Kendricks was survived by his three children, Paris, Ika, and Paul Kendricks, the latter of whom was named in honor of his close friend and fellow Temptation, Paul Williams. This connection highlighted the depth of Kendricks' relationships, emphasizing the bonds that he maintained throughout his life, both personal and professional. As a father, he was committed to nurturing and supporting his children, even as he faced his own battles with health. In the wake of his passing, a heartfelt funeral service was held at the First Baptist Church in Ensley, Alabama, a location that held special significance for Kendricks, as it was where he began his musical journey as a young boy singing in the church choir. The service was a poignant reflection of his life and career, attended by family, friends, and fans who gathered to pay their respects and celebrate the extraordinary legacy he left behind. The ceremony captured the essence of Kendricks' spirit, a blend of joy, sorrow, and gratitude for the impact he made in the music world. Kendricks was laid to rest in Elmwood Cemetery in Birmingham, a serene location that would become his final resting place. The choice of burial site in his hometown symbolized his deep connection to his roots and the city that shaped him. His legacy would remain intertwined with Birmingham, as well as the broader musical landscape he had influenced. To honor Kendricks' remarkable contributions to music, 4 tribute concerts were organized at the Strand in Los Angeles on October 16th and 17th, 1992. These performances drew a diverse array of artists and friends, all eager to celebrate Kendricks' life and his unparalleled talent. Among the performers were soul icons Bobby Womack, Chaka Khan, Mary Wilson of the Supremes, and Vesta Williams, each of whom took the stage to perform Temptations songs as well as some of their own hits. What do you think of the life story of a few who knows Eddie Kendricks? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.